Great, so grab a seat, guys.
Thanks, Rachel.
Awesome. Yeah, great. So thank you for joining us and welcome to being the chairs of AIESEC Egypt 2013.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah? Awesome. So we heard a little bit about these guys this morning during their intro, but for everyone wasn't able to catch that. So again, just an introduction to who you are, where you come from, what you're all about.
Cool. Yeah, so my name's Jake. I'm originally from Australia. I joined AIESEC back in 2005. Worked in the LC for a bit. I opened some LCs, I think 4 in total. I was then MCP of AIESEC Australia in 2008, 2009. I then decided that wasn't enough, so I did it all again in 2009, 2010, this time in Latvia, where I spent another year as MCP. And then I was fortunate enough to be on AIESEC International 2010, 2011, where we created 2015, everything that AIESEC's working for at the moment. And then I finished my AIESEC experience with a 2-month GIP internship in Uganda, which was just the most amazing experience.
Yeah, crazy. And I hear you're also heading to Africa at some point.
I am, yes. It seems like a trend between us as chairs.
Yeah.
So by the end of this conference, actually, a week later, I'll be starting a GIP with a global exchange partner, DPDHL, in Nairobi, Kenya. And I'm extremely looking forward to being able to finally settle in Kenya, start my job, experience life in East Africa. So I'm like, super excited about that. I joined in September 2004 in my first semester at university in Toronto, Canada. It was just such an incredible time, you know, to be in the LC. After that experience, I was LC VP ICX for a year. Then I joined the MC. After that, I joined the MC in AIESEC Canada, where I was responsible for exchange, so both incoming and outgoing. And then we both joined AIESEC International in 2010, 2011. So. Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting ride. So.
This morning, you guys said a really interesting thing. You decided to label yourselves something new. So no longer is it Jake and Marina, and we now have a new personality in the room, and that is Jakina. So can you tell me a little bit about where Jakina came from, what it's all about?
Right, so when we were first approached by Rolf to chair this conference, Jake and I did some sensing chats with previous chairs, with some of our close friends in the network, and what we really understood was that having 2 chairs is not something that's common. It's not something that necessarily happens a lot, especially at an IC. So we didn't want to place the delegates in like an unusual situation or to throw them outside of their comfort zone too much. So we really wanted to instead like merge ourselves into like one common chair. So there's a lot of aspects of our personality that are like quite similar, but there's a lot of aspects of his personality that complements mine and vice versa. So we took the approach of like a yin-yang, where there's, you know, 2 aspects of it, but it comes together to create a whole, and that really is Jakina. So it's the combination of all like the great aspects of Jake and the great aspects of Marina, and just being able to play off of those 2 in a way that still is like one common entity. So the delegates won't be like, oh, but you know, should I talk to Jake? Should I talk to Marina? No, you talk to Jakina.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
It is. And when AIESEC is as big as it is, we've got 124 countries, 750 people, like one individual alone, that's so much to manage.
Yeah.
And even just to be able to give your time to
Yeah.
AI and to the CC and to the delegates to really feel that they can connect with you, that you need to split that so that you can really play that role of a chair and, you know, inspiring and moving the network. And in such a critical conference of 2015.
Just got ice creams, we're good to go. So how did it feel as Jakina to come out on the stage this morning? You know, like, got 750 delegates from all over the world staring right at you. How was that feeling when you first stepped on the stage as Jakina?
Well, I mean, we've been working for probably about a week in Sharm el-Sheikh before the conference with AI and with the CC to have everything prepared. And I mean, working with sort of 20, 30 people, it's kind of, I had like a normal feeling. Like you're preparing for a conference, these are people that I know, it's, you know, really, really cool. But when those doors open and people walk into the plenary for the first time today, and everyone's shouting and screaming and like people are doing their chants, and the energy in the room is just, it's amazing. Like it's indescribable. And it's something that you know, I'd forgotten how much that I missed that, and I really, really enjoyed that environment. So I mean, this part of Jakina, standing on stage and looking out and feeling that energy being directed towards you, is just, it blows you away that that people have that much to give, which
Yeah.
is just super.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think about the roll calls, for example? So we had 120-ish roll calls going on today, and so compared to what you've seen in the past, what were your impressions?
I think the immediate impression was, my gosh, like this organization is huge these days. Like, as the network was less than 100 countries. When we left, it was about 110, 112, 13. And so to see the organization explode to like 120 plus countries is just phenomenal. It really proves that, you know, AIESEC is so relevant today, and that, you know, AIESEC can happen everywhere in the world. I think it's just a testimony to how powerful, you know, not only the organization is, but the young people who make up AIESEC, that, you know, we created this, you know, that this is a reflection of our collective will. And if that happens, like, you know, a million experiences delivered, leadership experiences delivered, like that too can happen. And I think, if anything, that was the overwhelming feeling that I had this morning, that this is the network, this is the people, you know, that will deliver 2015.
Going back to your generation then, I want to hear some of your most hilarious IC moments. So for a lot of people here, this is their first international congress. And these two collectively have been to how many ICs?
Collectively 11.
Yeah.
11 ICs.
Most of those were the same.
They were all the same except for one.
You weren't Chiquita then, there were two experiences. Anyway, I want to hear what's been the most crazy, hilarious story that you had from one of your first ICs.
Yeah, well,
talk about that craziness.
yeah, so I think both of our first IC was in Turkey,
Right.
Back in 2007, and I just, there was so, I had never been to an IC before, and I couldn't believe how many things were happening at the conference. Like, ING brought a Formula 1 car, DHL bought a slot machine, like slot cars that you could play in the breaks. It was just like insane how much partners wanted to engage with you. And the one thing that I remembered is that about 3:30 every day, the whole plenary, like 600 people, had this giant sugar crash because at 3 o'clock, Cadbury just like stockpiled us with chocolate. All of this chocolate you want. You walked into plenary and there were mountains of chocolate. I'm talking, you could scale them. And, you know, and everyone would just be eating them, and, you know, you'd be starting the session after lunch, and, you know, it was good. And then about, you know, half an hour into the session, everyone's like sugar levels just crashed. It was not really that good, but, you know, it was just incredible to think, one, how much partners cared about being with AIESEC, and how awesome that was, plus the free chocolate. Like,
I mean, you never say no, right?
No,
Can't say no
that
to
was a
that. Yeah, and at the same conference, actually, the venue that they hosted it in, that AIESEC in Turkey had selected, was a private university. And the president of that university, he had a soft spot in his heart for stray dogs.
Right.
So he would like take care of these dogs, like get them shots, take them, and essentially they were like his pets at the university. To the point where they had free access to everything. So you'd be sitting in a breakout room, you know, doing a session on how to increase exchanges in your local community or in your country, and a dog would just come right on in, lie in the middle of the floor, and you'd have to continue the session with this dog snoozing in the room. So yeah.
And I think it happened in the middle of a PAI speech.
I think so, yeah.
Gabitza as a PAI, big motivational speech, dog asleep in the playroom.
Comes up on stage, plops itself, and you're like, yeah, okay.
And those are the memories that stick. Yeah, so I'm sorry there are no dogs here, but hopefully there's some other memories that can be made that can be just as memorable. So yeah, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be doing some more interviews like this over the next few days. I'm talking about Formation 2015, hearing some more hilarious stories of what these two have been up to over the years, and getting to know them a little bit better. So if you want to submit a question, then you can go onto the IC Live website and submit your questions there. So thanks for joining us again today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
See
Bye.
ya.